Hello family, Sir here. In this video, we are going to talk about how to get a mortgage if you are self-employed. Now, we aren't going to go over the fluff, but if you want actionable tips on how to position you and your family to get that home you want and you're self-employed, be sure to watch this video until its completion. Stick around. This video is going to be a continuation of the conversation I had with Ortez Fields. He is a senior mortgage broker right here in Charlotte, North Carolina. And if you have not seen part one of the video, go ahead and check it out right here. There will also be a link to it in the description. And if you get any value out of this, be sure to like this video, as it allows YouTube to know that I'm providing valuable content and allows this content to be shared with more like-minded people. I appreciate it. To those of you who are new here, thank you for joining. And if you're returning, I appreciate you coming back. My name is Sir Ashley. I'm a realtor and investor in North Carolina and South Carolina. If you have any questions about buying or selling a home anywhere in North Carolina or South Carolina, please reach out to my team and I. We would love to help you. And on this channel, we talk about money, real estate, and North and South Carolina. But enough of that. Come with me. Let's jump into this conversation about how to get a mortgage if you are self-employed. Let's go. The next thing is, can we touch a little bit about self-employment?
Definitely. So with self-employment, I mean, let's just get the elephant out of the room, out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
COVID made things a whole lot harder,
Yeah.
right? Nobody was alive the last time a pandemic happened, 1920s, 30s. We weren't here, right?
Yeah.
So a lot has changed in terms of how self-employment clients are looked at when it comes to purchasing a home. The majority of the lenders that I worked with pulled their self-employment loan programs,
Okay.
right? So for a while, it was almost like, oh, you're self-employed, there's nothing we can do at this time. Since then, they've let up and we're starting to get those programs back. Now, obviously, we know tax returns are golden, right?
Yes.
And we always look at the last two. So the biggest thing with self-employment is you hire too good of CPAs. Your CPA does too good of a job,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And ultimately they forget, or our self-employed clients forget, like, hey, eventually one day I want to buy a house, right? Now,
show that income.
Yes, so
Yeah.
you have to show the income, and that's a goal that you should talk to. Now, me as a loan officer, I am not a CPA. I can guide you to say, hey, if this is what you want as far as a home, this is what this would have to look like. Now, you speak with your CPA to see what it is that you need to do. Now, I'm not saying that you end all of your deductions and stop, writing things off. In hindsight, some deductions are good because some of the deductions we can give back to you in the form of income. So, but that's still something that you want to, you want to talk to your CPA to put you in the best position for at least 2 years, right? So, and I get on that with saying, make sure you show consistent income both years, right? And what I mean by that is decreasing income is always bad, right? Always bad. However, increasing income isn't always great either, right? What you want to do is you want to make sure that both years are consistent. Now, what underwriters mostly do, they use their own discretion and they lean towards worst case scenarios, right? So you want to basically eliminate all doubt as far as like what the income would be by staying consistent as far as what you show and report to the IRS, right? Just a little heads up, a lot of lenders now in today's, underwriting of files, when it comes to like profit and loss statements, right? Before it used to be like a quarterly. Now they're starting to get more thorough and more updated, right? So it could be even to where it's the most recent month because income is so sporadic. Prime example is like construction companies or self-employed construction workers versus service industry workers, right? So and I know the price of lumber it was ridiculous, right?
Well, it's still high historically, but it has come down some recently.
It has come down, yeah. But we saw to where construction companies were making a lot of money. Now, an underwriter will look at that and say, well, is that something that's normal?
Is that sustainable?
Can that sustainable, right? So even though you may had a good year, in the black column, when it comes to actually getting a mortgage, is it something that's going to be sustained over the next few years, right? And just brace yourself all my self-employment clients out there, turn times are a little bit longer, right? Because they're the files get a little bit more scrutinized, they're fine-tooth combed, and it's no love lost. I love you. I want to put you in a house. Sir wants you to put you in a house. It's just
Yeah.
that when it comes to the lender, they want to make sure everything, the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed, right?
Yep.
So, but the beautiful part about, me and my company, when you are self-employed, what we do is we do an upfront underwrite, right? So we won't blindly say like, hey, how much do you make? Yada, 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 send you out there and pray for the best, right? Up
Yep.
front, we underwrite you and tell you, we collect the documentation up front to make sure that when we say you have a loan, you have a loan,
You have a
because we
loan.
know how tedious of a process it can be. So we just try to make sure we set you up for success. So that way there's no issues. Basically, that's the last thing we want to have happen, because we want to make this side of the home buying process as stress-free as possible.
So to recap everything, if I hear you correctly, if you're buying a home, you need to prepare and plan, but especially if you're self-employed, you need to make sure that's on your radar. It's a goal. So you're doing what is necessary well in advance before you have to submit those documents to make it easier on yourself.
Exactly. So, when you're looking at self-employment, plan 2 to 3 years ahead. Put that into your CPA's ears, like, hey, this is a goal of mine. I'm
Yep.
looking to purchase a house, and this is the kind of house I want to buy. And make sure that they like, because that's, I cannot stress how much you have to just let
And
them know, because they'll be like a bull in a china shop and like, save money, save money, save money, save money. Well, no, let me take the blinders off. Like, hey,
yes.
this is their goal. What do I need to do to make it happen?
And only caveat I have to say, well, obviously, no, in addition, not even a caveat, is
Mhm.
let your goal be known to the CPA. Let them know what kind of house you want to buy, but also considering the market we're in right now with prices skyrocketing, consider a bump. Like you might think the house you want to buy is 400,000. Let the CPA know the house you want to buy is 450, just because prices are increasing, and just put yourself in a better position moving forward so you can get that home that you ultimately want to buy, as opposed to when we get to that point and you think 400 is going to do it and 400 is not going to do it.
Yeah. So, and it's funny you said that, because now, especially, if this year's a wash, where a price is going to be in 2 years.
Yep.
Okay, let me think about how much income I need to show and be accounted for, to where I'll qualify for that inflation down the line.
Down the line.
Down
And
the line.
and
So,
remember, we're talking about Charlotte here. Now, what happens in other parts of the country, I'm not gonna say I'm not concerned about. You all watch the channel. I talk about national news, but every market is different. And while other markets may see dips in the coming year or two, just based on supply and demand and the growth in the city, I don't think Charlotte will see any dips in the next 3 to 5 years. So please don't wait or bank on house prices going down. They might level off a little bit, but you still will see some appreciation going up. All right, so that was part 2 of my conversation with Ortez Fields, a senior mortgage broker right here in Charlotte, North Carolina. I want to take a second to thank Ortez Fields for taking time out of his schedule for coming on and sharing his knowledge and experiences with us. I hope you walked away with some nuggets, because he dropped some valuable information and just insight regarding getting a mortgage and how to position yourself to get a mortgage if you are self-employed. So be sure to reach out to him and his team if you're looking to get a home loan, and he will be making other appearances on this YouTube channel. Also, if you have any questions about the home buying process in general, I have tons of videos on this channel talking about the home buying process. Be sure to check those videos out and share them with any friends or colleagues or coworkers who might be interested in buying or selling a home, or just interested in North and South Carolina. Thank you again for watching. I'm Sir Ashley. Talk soon.